Namaskar, I'm Nidhi Ashok Goyal. I'm the founder and executive director of Rising Flame. I work for rights of persons with disabilities. I'm disabled myself. I live with blindness. It's really important for us to recognize, identify, and visibilize this critical group, right? Data from 2011 census will tell you we're just a little over 2%, but the global data indicates that around 15% of people live with disabilities. We've definitely moved forward, and the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act, which was passed in 2016 in India, has expanded the number of disability groups, right? So from 7, which was in the older act, to 21, which is now. But where are the people with disabilities? Are we counting them in the data that we collect? We, the governments, the organizations, people, surveyors. Just to give you a very brief example, but very, very crucial. After a lot of advocacy back and forth, persons with disabilities were finally included in the National Family Health Survey. This year, we were dropped out as a group altogether. Some of the reasons given were that the data wasn't effective. The data wasn't effective. We needed to change the questions. We did not need to drop out an entire group. Really thinking about which citizens in this country are not counted. And are persons with disabilities not citizen enough? Why are we then not visible in data as much as we should be? So when we talk about access to health, immediately health infrastructure becomes a question for persons with disabilities. Access to health infrastructure means the physical infrastructure, the digital infrastructure, the equipments, the gadgets, the technology. Physical infrastructure, if the hospital has a ramp, has accessible toilets, is there a sign language interpreter for information, is braille information available? Digital are, from your booking of appointment, are the apps accessible? To write to your payment machines, is the point of sales POS machine, credit card machines which have become only touch, are they accessible for persons across disabilities? Are we looking at medical equipment? So transference, for example, on a bed, are the beds, just can go up and down so that wheelchair users can transfer independently? Many such questions around medical infrastructure, and unless we address them, health access for persons with disabilities won't become a reality, which is mandated by international instruments, human rights instruments, and Indian law. Health insurance, a judgment in 2022 December, Delhi High Court. The judge basically said right to life, which is constitutional, includes right to health and healthcare. Access to insurance has been a ground of discrimination for persons with disabilities. We are, under the DAI guidelines, we were under the category of substandard life. Disabled person, substandard life, and we were denied insurance altogether. After the Delhi High Court judgment, it was directed to IRDAI to change these guidelines, right? To alter them, not to have us under substandard life, and also to have insurance packages which are specifically products which are specifically catering to the needs of persons with disabilities, to do it preferably within 2 months. And we still see that implementation of this, or to stop the discrimination against persons with disabilities is still a very long distant dream. So as far as insurance is concerned. Sexual and reproductive health becomes very, very crucial as a subject and an issue for women with disabilities, particularly women and gender marginalized persons with disabilities is what I would say. To give you a few examples of what sexual health or reproductive health means for women with disabilities. In a case, we had a deaf woman who was pregnant and came to the hospital, and a mother reported because the woman was deaf and she was an adult woman. The mother said this is a rape case because the hospital did not have sign language interpreters. It's really important that the statement was being noted in a medical legal case without the testimony of the survivor who was sitting there because of the paucity of sign language interpreter, which later was rectified through an NGO. It was discovered that it was a consensual relationship and pregnancy emerging out of consensual relationship. It's absolutely critical the way we approach and the way we depart from law when it comes to women with disabilities, but also law has not been super helpful. The Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act, if you see, has a clause saying that no termination of pregnancy of a disabled woman can be done forcefully except in cases of severe disability, and the law refuses to define severe disabilities. It's very important, because what are they doing? You know, I remember this advocacy meeting that I was having, and I said, I'm 100% blind. So you mean that how can blindness get more severe than this? So somebody can take the decision whether I should carry my child pregnancy forward or not. Climate change is a new discourse, and it's really important because it's not only emerging, but it's crucial for now, like right now. And who gets left behind again in climate change conversations is people with disabilities. There is massive impact on health of persons with disabilities and elderly persons. We can't imagine the mental health and the physical health impact. To give you a small example, with many disabilities and chronic illnesses or chronic health conditions, you cannot regulate your own body temperatures. So extreme heat waves, extreme drop in temperatures has disproportionate impact on them. And this is not something that we are accounting for. If we don't account for the mental and physical health impact or the health impact for persons with disabilities, the safety of persons with disabilities and climate change solutions right now, we will land up again in a world which is great but exclusionary, or creating the circle of exclusion for persons with disabilities.